Dan from BioBreakVNC, and we're here to discuss free roams. So please tell us about your MMO and your character creation.
Okay. Well, I'm Floyd Bishop. I'm an animator at SOE, and I work on a game called Free Roams. And Free Roams is a free-to-play MMO. It's geared toward kids. You start out in your web browser, you go to freeroams.com, and you're going to be asked to create a character. So here Eric's creating a character, and you have full customization of skin tone, face type, hairstyle, hair color, eye color, base outfits, and also any kind of face paint you want to put on the character. So once you do that, then you can name your character, and you can either pick a name from our name wheel, or you can do a custom name that will have to go through the approval process, of course. But it'll just give you a name to start with if you do choose a custom name. And then once your name is approved, then you can play as that character. And then once you start, then you go into Free Roams, and it'll launch the client. This is your character page. So here you'll see a little bit about your character. So because this is a new character, there's not really anything over here yet. Little news articles and things like that. This is actually a character that already exists. This is my character. And you can have different portraits and things like that, so other players can log into your page and see kind of what you've been up to. But then you'll hit the Play Now button, and it launches the external client, which is the Free Roams game. Now, one thing that's different about Free Roams from other MMOs is that you're not tied to any one server or any one job. All jobs are available instantly, and all servers are available instantly. So if you play the game and you meet someone who also plays Free Roams, you can put them on your friends list and you can teleport to them. Whereas with other MMOs, sometimes you're tied to a specific server or job class. You can't do that. We have lots of different gameplay styles. We have combat, we have cooking games, we have race car games, we have demolition derby, lots of different things. And not everybody plays the game the same way. So we have some players that only like to race and do combat. And we've got some players that like to cook and kind of do house parties and things like that. So housing is another big custom feature of the game that's kind of new and different from other MMOs. So Eric's going to go into one of the houses here, and this is actually one of the VIP houses that we're going into now. And you can customize the house, you can add things to it. I've got some coin plants out front here that'll grow coins for me. In Free Roams, money does grow on trees. Other players can visit your house and water your plants for you, which will increase the yield of the plant. So if you have other players come in and water your plants, and then you water them too, you get extra coins than you would normally. So we try to do a lot of social aspects of the game. That's one of them with the watering of plants and things like that. You can also have a house that you can decorate however you want. So when we started housing, we had just couches and chairs and things like that you could put in there. But players started using them to build things. So then we said, well, let's just make blocks so they could stack up. So we did. And then players really liked that. And then they said, can you make a house but without the house? So we said, okay. So we started making just empty lots with themes from the different areas. And that's when housing really took off. So players, that's one aspect of the game that really kind of came up from the player side that we didn't intend initially. So we try to be very responsive. That's one good thing about a live title, is that the game's not finished. It's never finished. We just keep expanding it and expanding it. So housing is one way that we've kind of responded to the player base, where they asked for a feature to be kind of embellished and kind of grown, and that's what we did with housing. So one thing that came out of housing is we now have farming as well, which you access the same way you access your house, only you've got a farm. So what you'll do is you'll run around the overworld and find plant samples, and then go into your farm. And I've been playing all day, so my farm is kind of a wreck right now, I think. But so every player gets a farm to start with, and your farm will go up to level 5 if you're not a member. It'll go to level 20 if you are a member. And what you do with the farming is you get different plant samples from the overworld, and then you can plant them in the game here in your farm, and then they take different amounts of time to harvest depending on what type they are. So you water them, you take care of them, you keep the pests away from them, and they'll give you a better yield than they would if you just let the rabbits get to them. Because after a while, you'll get rabbits and groundhogs and things that come in and try to eat your crops, and you have to scare them away. Also in your farm, you've got weeds and stuff, and it looks like my farm, everybody kind of took care of for me while I'm here at E3, but normally weeds will spring up, and other players can come and pick the weeds for you, and they'll get coins for helping you out. Farming will then now lead into a newer feature that we're currently developing called ranching. It'll work in a similar way where you get a small piece and then kind of grow it and develop it, but rather than plants, it'll be animals. So for launch, we'll have ponies, Pegasus, unicorns, dragons, and T-Rexes. And you'll start with a little egg. Even ponies and stuff will come with an egg. there's no biology lessons in Free Realms. So they all are going to hatch out of an egg, and then you take care of them and you grow them, and you can either grow them into a pet or a mount. You can ride the mount around, or you can have the pet follow you around and do tricks and things like that. So with plants, where if you don't water them, they'll wither and die, we're not going to make the pets wither and die. They'll just kind of get sick and then get fed up with you and run away, and then you have to start all over again. So that's kind of how we dodged that bullet with that. And then down the line, much farther, we have dining, but that's much more in the future. But so all those systems kind of came out of housing and then kind of branched out from there. So that's where we're at now with farming, and ranching is right around the corner.
Awesome. Well, it looks like you really got something great going on here, and I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Free Realms is available on the PC and the Mac. You can play across servers, so if your friend has a Mac and you have a PC, doesn't matter. You can play on the same servers. We're also available on the PS3 currently. We just launched that not too long ago. That's a different server set than what we're doing with the PC and the Mac, but the game is basically the same game. It's just set up a little different with the UI because of the controller. So.
Awesome. Well, have a great show, and we really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. See you in game.